Hi, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Aparna Pednekar. I'm a gemologist and jewelry designer here at Swapnanjali Jewelry Studio in Pune, where we handcraft gemstone jewelry in gold and silver. We do have a lot of gender agnostic designs for men as well as women, customized designs, and we specialized in colored gemstones. I've also been, and I am a practicing journalist. I've been writing in the luxury lifestyle, jewelry, and travel space for the past 17 to 20 years, which is why. I have this channel, and the stories I want to share. My approach is not about jewelry and gemstones as something very extravagant, and which they are, of course, but there are a lot of wonderful stories behind it. And you tumble and stumble into new stories as you write. So I was writing the story on Maharaja Bhupinder Singh, and I came across these two wonderful love stories which I thought I should share with you. One of them is of Edward VIII of England, who abdicated his throne when he fell in love with Wallace Simpson, the notorious American socialite, who was married at that time. Clearly, it was a massive scandal. He rocked and shocked England, but he was determined to marry her. He said, I really don't need the throne. Bye bye, throne. I will marry the woman that I love. So he bought this wonderful emerald from Cartier, which was 19.77 carat, and he had it set by them in a platinum white ring, which he inscribed with a very curious message. Not curious, quite obvious. We are ours now. 17 into 36. That was because he proposed to her on October 17th, 1936, which is the very same day that her divorce from her American businessman husband was granted, Ernest Simpson. The other love story is even more extraordinary because it predates this story by almost 2 decades. And this is the wonderfully progressive marriage of Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad of Baroda and his remarkable second wife, Maharani Chimnabai. Now, Maharani Chimnabai's maiden name was Gajrabai. She wasn't his first wife. His first wife was Chimnabai the First, for whom he built this glorious palace, which is, of course, Lakshmi Nivas, famous for being thrice the size of Buckingham Palace. But she died and he remarried. And I believe Chimnabai the second was 13 years old at that time. But to everybody's surprise and the hand of fate, it turned out to be one of the most extraordinary meeting of minds and souls, because they were a very unusual pair of royals for that time. Yes, they were extravagant. Yes, Baroda was one of the most richest, or rather the richest princely state, but they were also very concerned about the welfare of Baroda. They worked tirelessly towards it, and Maharani Chimnabai was also very active in women's empowerment and in women's issues. She was actually the president of the first All India Women's Conference that was held right here. I mean, not literally here. It was held maybe what, like 3 kilometers from here at Ferguson College. I believe it was in 1927, 5th to 8th Jan 1927. I have this photograph from there, and you may not recognize Maharani Chimnabai, but you will recognize a familiar face. Yes, that is Sarojini Naidu. She was really Chimnabai was really a remarkable woman. They also traveled a lot, the Maharaja and her, because he wanted her to experience new cultures and bring back those progressive thoughts and those ideas to Baroda. She traveled with a lot of her court jewelers, which is also unusual for that time because she wanted them to learn Western jewelry setting techniques and implement them in India, in Baroda. On one of these travels in Europe, and said she had a wonderful wardrobe of saris and was pretty extravagant in those ways, but she was also a very conscientious ruler and a conscientious Maharani, very intelligent for her times. On one of those travels, the couple met Jacques Cartier, and the Maharani invited him to India. He thought it was an excellent opportunity because India was completely exotic at that point of time. They had no clue what it was. So he wanted to explore this new client base of exotic Maharajas. He set off, Jacques Cartier set off on this exotic East travel holiday, as it were. In 1911, it took him 18 days to reach India. He traveled by boat, and I think he was accompanied by a pearls expert from Cartier called Richard. Both of them landed in the first port of call was Bombay, where they checked in into this sort of newish luxury hotel built by this crazy Parsi man. I think it was called Taj Mahal Palace, Bombay. They traveled in India for 4 months from Bombay to Calcutta to Delhi. They also visited Patiala, where they had some dialogues with Maharaja Bhupinder Singh, but frankly, it was not a very pleasant experience for them. The Maharaja wanted to buy a ginormous pearl that Cartier was carrying, and he also wanted to sell Cartier some of his own gems and jewelry, but there was a lot of bargaining involved, there was a lot of power play involved, and frankly, it was not a very pleasant experience. But then Jacques went to Baroda, and he had a wonderful experience. He was very impressed with the progressive Maharaja and Maharani. Of course, this massive, extravagant palace, but he was also very impressed by how intelligent the Maharani was. They showed him, the couple showed him their beautiful gemstone and jewelry collection, and of course, he was gobsmacked. One of those extraordinary gemstones was the Star of the South, which we'll talk about another time. He did try and get a big commission from them, but as usual, local politics was played villain, and he had to return without a huge commission because the court jewelers did not want this Frenchy dude coming and stealing their commissions. But he did gain the Maharani's trust, and she did give him one of her largest necklaces for resetting, along with a few other gemstones. But the jewelry really isn't important here. It was this wonderful couple, and how their progressive vision transformed Baroda. As well as the beautiful jewelry that they owned. If you like this story, then do like the video, do subscribe to this channel, and do share this video with your friends and other people who'll enjoy listening to more such stories. I'll see you the next time.